Well, good evening, everyone. It's nice to see a few faces in the gallery this evening. So I'll now call the Tuesday, March 22nd, 2022 regular meeting of council to order. First item on the agenda would be the 2.1 adoption of the agenda. Being March 22nd, 2022, be adopted as amended, council, by removing the word rate from item 8.3. Mover, Councillor Pearson, Councillor Blanchette. Are there any further additions or amendments? All in favor? It's carried. Item 3.1, adoption of the minutes of the March 8, 2022 regular meeting of council as being adopted as presented. Councillor Blanchette, Councillor MacLean. Are there any errors or omissions arising? All in favor? It's carried. Item 3.2, adoption of the minutes of the March 10th, 2022 special meeting of council. They be adopted as presented. Councillor G, Councillor Pearson. Are there any errors or omissions arising? All in favor? It's carried. No delegations this evening, no unfinished business. Correspondence for action, 6.1. Local Government Leadership Academy 2022 Leadership Forum. There is a recommendation here that, but I'll reword it just slightly, that a member of council's attendance to the 2022 LGLA Leadership Forum to be held in Richmond on April 6th, 7th, and 8th, 2022 be approved. I am not able to attend this year. It's just too close to everything else that's going on. So is there another member of council that has the 6th, 7th, and 8th that they would like to? I mean, it's an outstanding opportunity. Nada?
Can't squeeze that one.
Okay, moving forward. Anything out of the reading file council would like to bring to service? Administrative reports, 8.1, accounts payable report, January and February 22, that they be received for information. Councillors G, Councillor Blanchette, are they, any discussion?
Perfect.
Thank you. All in favor? It's carried. 8.2, another offer, Association of Kootenay Boundary Local Government, AKBLG. There is a recommendation that it be confirmed which council members, if any, are attending. I'll take any. It's in Nelson this year. Any takers?
No, can't make that either.
Forward. 8.3, municipal tax increase. There is a recommendation here that council approves a 4% municipal tax increase to be implemented in the 2022 tax bylaw. Councillor Blanchette, Councillor G, discussion. Councillor Blanchette.
We don't like to do it, as we all have to pay, but we need to have it done so that we can continue living here and having water and flushing toilets and having garbage and everything else. So it's something that we have to do, and looking down the road too.
Further discussion? All in favor? It's carried. 8.4, waiving of Visitor Information Center, VIC, racking fees for local nonprofit organizations. There is a couple of recommendations that VIC racking fees be waived for all local nonprofit organizations, or that VIC racking fees be waived for only the Valemount Destination Marketing Organization, or that all organizations continue to pay VIC racking fees. What is council's wish? Councillor MacLean?
I move that the racking fees be waived for all local nonprofit organizations.
Seconder, Councillor Blanchette. Discussion on the racking fees being waived for all local nonprofit organizations. Councillor Blanchette?
Has anyone had a conversation with maybe, instead of, if they didn't want to waive the fees, lowering the fees? Because I know that even for individuals, they're really high. Like myself, you know, I sometimes can't afford to do that. So I'm just wondering if that's ever been a conversation, or could be a conversation about possibly lowering the fees?
We'll direct that to our Director of Finance.
That hasn't been a conversation as of yet.
Has not been a conversation?
I believe the rates have been the same since Wendy Dyson's organization ran the VIC.
Okay.
So have we ever, have we had complaints about them, or is everybody good with them and everything's fine?
Not that I know of, but I can look at that and come back to council.
So,
Just on something.
not that we know of. I'm just reiterating for those at home.
Okay, yeah, so just, I mean, if it's a non-starter, then great, you know, but previously it had been brought to my attention, but a long time ago, so,
Let's look to have that conversation this year.
yeah.
Okay. Further discussion? All in favor? It's carried. 8.5, development variance permit 2202 at 1100 Main Street. Recommendation here that development variance permit 2202 for 1100 Main Street, legally described as Lot A, District Lot 9778, Caribou District Plan EPP 68609, to decrease the minimum setback of a roof overhang from 1 meter to 0 meters be approved. Councillor Pearson. Councillor G, discussion. We did receive some correspondence from Richard Carrero of Valemount. And he is opposed to any changes of the roof line at the line's location. I'd like council's permission just to respond to the complainant, and then perhaps we can get some clarity around it. So, Mr. Carrero, the setback will be only on the sloping roof line to the southeast, not to the northwest. So your particular, the property in question will not be impacted.
Okay, you want me to?
No, thank you. This isn't the time, but I'm trying to provide you some clarity.
I appreciate that, so you're telling me that the northeast corner that is existing now is not gonna be changed, is that correct?
The northeast corner,
Is that, as it exists at this moment, is going to stay the same, is that correct?
the northwest corner will stay the same. The northwest corner will stay the same. The southeast corner will change.
The southeast,
Yes,
but the existing as it is today will stay that way, is that correct?
correct.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
You're very welcome. Further discussion? All in favor? It's carried. 8.6, temporary use permit 2203 at 1460 7th Avenue. Couple of recommendations here, that resolution 37421, providing initial approval of TUP 2109 at 1460 7th Avenue, legally described as Lot 13, District Lot 7354, Caribou District Plan 18453, except parcel AN17910 be rescinded. Councillor Pearson, Councillor Blanchette, any discussion on rescindment? All in favor? It's carried. And 2, that temporary use permit 2203 for 1460 7th Avenue, legally described as Lot 13, District Lot 7354, Caribou District Plan 18453, except parcel AN 17910, proposing a temporary residential structure be given initial approval. Councillor Blanchette, Councillor G, discussion around initial approval. All in favor? It's carried. 8.7, temporary use permit 2204 at 1915 Cranberry Place. A recommendation that temporary use permit 2204 at 1915 Cranberry Place, legally described as Lot 8, except part subdivided by Plan BCP 24180, District Lot 7354, Caribou District Plan PGP 43223, proposing a temporary residential structure be given initial approval. Councillor G, Councillor Pearson, any discussion around initial approval? Councillor Pearson?
Yeah, I'd just like to comment, I appreciate the fact that they are prepared to take care of garbage to the transfer facility of their own to lessen the impact on the village operations.
That is a nice touch. Further discussion? All in favor? It's carried. 8.8, temporary use permit 2205 at 11228 8th Avenue. Recommendation here that temporary use permit 2205 at 1122 8th Avenue, legally described as Lot 7, Block 3, District Lot 7355, Caribou District Plan 15883. Proposing a temporary residential structure be given initial approval. Councillor Blanchette, Councillor Pearson, discussion around initial approval. Councillor Pearson?
Similar comment that they're willing to upgrade to a larger garbage can. It'd be nice if that was a part of the application process, but I appreciate that they're doing it.
Excellent. Some proactive learnings there.
Yeah.
Further discussion? All in favor? It's carried. 8.9, correspondence from Tomcat Enterprises. Recommendation here, the report be received and filed. Councillor G, Councillor Blanchette, discussion on the correspondence? All in favor? It's carried. 8.10, Crane Power Limited, business license application, that the report be received and filed. Councillor Blanchette, Councillor G, discussion? All in favor? It's carried. Bylaws and policies, 9.1, Village of Valemount five-year financial plan bylaw, number 857, 2022. Recommendation here that the Village of Valemount five-year financial plan bylaw, number 857, 2022, be given first and second reading. Councillor Pearson, Councillor Blanchette, discussion on first and second. All in favor? It's carried. No new business this evening. Does anybody have a notice of motion to bring forward? We have time for council reports, 12.1. Councillor Blanchette. I see your pen is dry.
On the 10th, I visited you all here for a special meeting. 14th, we had an elder care committee meeting. On the 15th, we had a clean air task force meeting, and it was fantastic. I just want to, before I give you my report, I want to thank Carleena and our great committee members, because it's really a fantastic committee to be on, and we always succeed in so many things. So there was a whole bunch of things that I just wanted to mention. There are some Fire Smart initiatives that we're looking into, up to $150,000 per community, which is substantial. There's also homeowner resources that we're looking into that all of the homeowners can access. We've got the possibility of having a local Fire Smart rep, which would be a fantastic addition, you know. We do have a wildfire management plan. It's quite old and it needs to be looked at, so we're going to be bringing that forward as an action item for our committee and committee members. So I just want to reiterate, it's a really good committee. Councillor MacLean wasn't able to attend, but you missed a really good one. We had a delegation. It was just, this is just a forward thinking. We've got a great bunch of people there, and everybody's gung-ho and always moving forward. So that's everything. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor MacLean?
The only thing,
Threw a shot across.
I know she did. Oh my gosh. I knew we'd be well represented and informed later anyway. The only thing I had was I attended on the 10th, the special meeting of council. That's all.
Thank you very much. Councillor G.
I also attended the special meeting on the 10th, and other than working on the evaluations for all the applications to the CBT committee, that's all I have to report. We should have some more information on that for the next meeting.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Has there been any matrix or any analytics to the
The public input?
public input
Yeah,
sessions?
it's been compiled and we'll be having a meeting tomorrow to go over all those.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. Councillor Pearson?
All right, well, it seems like it's been a really busy 2 weeks, but none of it was council-related other than the March 10th special meeting with all of you as well, so.
Cool. March 9th, had a government-to-government partnership discussion between the Southeast BC Connectivity Committee and the and Citizen Services, Ministry of Citizen Services Assistant Deputy Minister Susan Stanford. March 10th, earlier that day, there was a really good COVID announcement. We're all in this room without a mask. Everything's on up and up. And then later that day, was able to have a special meeting council with all of you, and then the Valemount Cares presentation later that evening, showcasing their 16-unit seniors facility, which was really cool. March 14th, follow-up discussion with the entire Southeast BC Connectivity Committee about the government-to-government partnership, citizen services. March 16th, in the evening, when I went up to Prince George, went up to UNBC and met a master's student who's trying to defend a thesis on community resilience as it pertains to wildfire protection. And so the young man and his doctorate sponsor will be coming out to Valemount to have a look around. Actually, it was initially scheduled for McBride. However, because of the semi-similar fire index that we both share, he's going to be expanding his paper to the entire Robson Valley. Last week, April, when both the COM4 managers are around, but I'll make sure we get introductions. March 17th, had Regional District Environment and Parks Committee meeting, Regional District Agricultural Land Use Committee meeting, Regional Hospital Board, Regional District Open Board meeting, and then on the 21st, had a Prince George Regional Advisory Committee meeting. Some of the applications, so that's with NDIT, or I'm making recommendations to the NDIT board, and we saw a real downward trend this time around in terms of committee or grant applications, and some of the responses back from staff were, it was so oversubscribed last year, and a lot of nonprofits and government organizations were moving fast and furious throughout 21 that staff seemed to think they just need to take a breather and either are finishing their projects or just tired.
Yeah.
So, and I'm here before you this evening. Motion to receive. Councillor MacLean, Councillor G. Any discussion on receipt? I'll make sure I get introductions out.
Yeah.
All in favor? It's carried. Public comment, 14.1, on items considered by council as a part of approved agenda. Are there any public comments this evening? Just have to do a quick preamble, but make your way up to the podium. Questions and comments will be regarding on an item on the current agenda, and they should be put forth and must be on topics that are not normally dealt with by village staff as a matter of routine. They shall be addressed through myself. Debates with or by individual members of council or staff are not allowed during this time. No commitment shall be made by council in replying to a question. Matters which may require action of council shall be tabled to a future meeting. Bylaws and TUPs that have been considered at a public hearing but have not yet received final approval shall not be raised during this time. Individuals must state their name and just simply their area of residence for identification purposes. And comments and questions will be limited to 2 minutes according to that clock. Welcome.
Thank you, Mayor Torgerson. My name is Claudia Frost. I live at 160 17th Avenue, Valemount, BC, which is actually part of the regional district. I do have a business property in town. So I'm actually just commenting on, of course, my letter that was received and some of the responses that I received from my letters. I just want to start off to say how disappointed I am that Tomcat Enterprises, the owner of 1455 Fifth Avenue, received no notification regarding the significant change to our zoning. I discovered the change purely by chance and immediately phoned the planner, Krista Yeti, to discuss the situation. During the meeting, we discussed that zoning bylaw 847-2021 has what I consider significant errors and omissions. For over 20 years, the property and building has been used for automotive repair and towing operations. This use was obliterated as per zoning bylaw 847-2021. Because the zoning was changed without our knowledge, an application for a business license was denied, and the tenant was informed to cease operations or be prepared that operating without a business license would result in further enforcement measurements. I have read through the business license bylaw, excuse me, and cannot find where a non-issuance of a business license changes the use of the property. If the zoning was not changed, then a business license would be issued as it falls within the previous use. I am puzzled why a resort community, which I believe Valemount falls under that designation, would hold a public hearing for the zoning bylaw, something that was fairly significant, at the busiest time of year in the summer months, July 27th, 2021. I have worked in local government and understand the process. I am frustrated by the conflicting information and roadblocks I have encountered. During the process, I noticed on the village webpage a quote, "A village office that's here to help." Unfortunately, that has not been my experience. I am requesting that the C4 highway commercial zoning be reinstated immediately on the property and that the C4 zone to include automotive repair service, which was actually not included in any zone on that bylaw. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any further public comments this evening?
Hello, I'm Rashmi Narayan and I live in Valemount. I have just a comment about one of your correspondence on it relates to COVID restrictions and how it's changing. And it's a tricky thing. And before I start, I want to say I'm fully vaccinated and I really care about the safety of others. But I know council put in a policy about requiring all their staff and committee members to be vaccinated. And with this change, I'm just inviting council to think about that. Partly, I know it's been, the vaccine passports has been a divisive issue, and we're all going to try and adapt to how we move forward from now on. And I'm not asking you guys to consider it right away. Let's see what happens in the next couple of months because of the changing restrictions, and then go forward. But just something to consider, because I know there have been people on committees who've had to get off. That's my only comment. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any further public comments this evening? Motion to receive. Councillor Blanchette, Councillor MacLean. All in favor? It's carried. Give notice to proceed in camera under 15.1 for consideration of 4 items per section 91A, I, and K of the Community Charter to discuss matters related to A, personal information about an identifiable individual who holds or is being considered for a position as an officer, employee, or agent of the municipality, or another position appointed by the municipality, and I, the receipt of advice that is subject to solicitor-client privilege, including communications necessary for that purpose, And K, negotiations and related discussions respecting the proposed provision of a municipal service that are at their preliminary stages in that in the VO Council could reasonably be expected to harm the interests of the municipality if they were held in public. Councillor Blanchette, Councillor G. Discussion, shouldn't be. All in favor? It's carried. Thank you all.